We're going live, sir.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Shalom, Yahweh, YAHANNA, to the brothers, Yahweh, Shemar, Thumb, Yahweh, to the sisters. This is I.S.U.P.K. Canada's first car chronicles. First car chronicles. All right. The school is being
Right.
the school is being tended to, so it's not safe to be in there right now. And the lockbox is frozen solid, so that doesn't help either. Super cold, super cold, super cold. But as always, the show must go on. All right. Those of you tuned in on Facebook, on YouTube, this class is sponsored by the like button. Smash the like button. This class is also sponsored by the share button. Share this with everyone that you know. Akim, if you could also share this as well, that would be greatly appreciated. Any questions in the room? Any questions in the room?
Salaki, sir. Law. I don't have a question at the moment. Shalom, Officer
Sorry,
Shariwan, Yahweh, Shemar,
Shalom,
yeah,
Adawanyam, Yahweh Shem Thumb.
all right. All right, let's get into the topic. If there's no questions, Montreal, you have a question? All right, if anybody has a question, you can raise your hand. What have you? Ask it during the class. We have no questions. I can go ahead to the chat and we'll just read off all the quotes that I sent you. When I switch my page, can you guys still see me on camera?
Come. Law, sir. I can't see you
Wow,
now.
sir, it's a black screen.
La, so we can see you.
Right. Okay. So I might have to switch my notes on my phone, so I might go black for a few seconds. Let's go ahead. Let's go in that chat, Akim. Let's rattle off these quotes. As you all know, it's so-called Christmas Eve. Christmas is tomorrow. The earth believes that they're celebrating Jesus Christ's birthday, but in reality, they're worshiping a Roman goddess, or god rather. I believe it's a god known as Mithras. December 25th is the birth of Mithras, the supposed birth of Mithras. You can take it further back than that to Nimrod. All right, Nimrod, in order to consolidate power, after his death, rather, you can look him up as Semiramis. Semiramis was his name. I believe that's his Egyptian name or what have you. He was a mighty hunter, as the scripture said. After he died, his mother slash wife. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here, folks. Mother slash wife wanted to continue his reign, or reign in his stead. So she told her subjects, her new subjects, that if you were naughty, if you did not dispose of your gold and silver at the base of Nimrod's tree, then your head would hang from his tree. And that's where you get the balls. That's why the balls are red. That's why red is a theme in Christmas. Akim, you need to be able to disseminate that information, that piece of information, because it's very important. That red, the color red, is synonymous with Christmas because Christmas is full of blood. Wow, how the hell else can they explain the color red? The heads would hang from the evergreen tree, or the tree of Nimrod. In the wintertime, Akim, what tree what tree still had foliage on it? Or what tree still has foliage on in the wintertime? Who knows?
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. I'm not sure if you can hear me. The pine tree.
We can hear you out. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. I was going to say the pine tree.
The evergreen tree is the accurate name. The evergreen tree stays alive during winter, and so that was a tree that was used.
Come on, sir.
All right, that's a tree that is used today, rather. All right, and so the decorations, the gold, the silver, all of that has a deeper meaning, and the deeper meaning is to bow down to this king, or feel his wrath. Kyrie Irving, Kanye West recently found out that if you do not bow to today's Nimrod, which is the so-called Caucasian or the oppressor, your head figuratively will be hanging from a tree. You'll lose your so-called millions. You'll lose your so-called net worth will drop, etc. For not accepting, their God. for not accepting their God or their way of life, which has been tragic for us, but it is the status quo in this society. All right? Give me Amos 5:21. You know what I want. Start this class off. All right?
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 21. I despise your feast days.
I despise your feast days. One of the things we need to understand is that God hates Christmas. Christmas, the celebration of Christmas is not in the Bible in this sense. No Israelite, no man of God or woman of God ever celebrated Christmas in the Bible.
Right.
So why are we as Christians, if you celebrate Christmas, you're a Christian. Another thing we need to make clear. If you celebrate Christmas, you are a Christian. So why are you as a Christian celebrating something that has nothing to do with Christ? That has nothing to do with Christ's birth. Christ never said to celebrate his birthday. When the three wise men came to give him gifts, they came to give him gifts because they knew he was going to be a great man. And it wasn't on his birthday. Why? Because he was already out, kicking and screaming like a baby. All right? The child was already born. Again, the child was already born. He hates and despises our feast days. Someone else get me Ecclesiasticus, was it 33 and 17? You know what I want.
Come.
Ecclesiasticus 33 and 17. Like, this is our feast day. This is a day that man made up. This is a day man made up. In or around 320 AD, Constantine, who was a so-called Negro, much like, or similar to Jay-Z, etc., and that he was a sellout. He was someone that was willing to compromise what was left of the truth for money, for followers.
Salaki,
Right?
other one.
Go ahead.
Did you mean Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 7?
Come, read.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 verse 7. Why doth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun?
Why does one day excel another? Why is one day greater than another day? There are holidays. There are days that are hallowed or set apart. Why? Read on.
Verse 8. By the knowledge of the Lord,
By what?
by the knowledge of the Lord,
No, by the Pope.
by the knowledge of the Lord,
By the knowledge of the Lord, by the one you call God, the Most High, the knowledge of the Lord. By the knowledge of the Lord. Go ahead.
by the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished.
They were distinguished. The knowledge of the Most High, the truth is what distinguishes holidays from ordinary days, from regular days. Did the knowledge of God distinguish December 25th? Hell no. It couldn't. The knowledge of God couldn't have distinguished December 25th. Who knows why? Somebody give me an answer.
Salaki, other one. If I may, he would not, the knowledge of the Lord were not distinguished December 25th, because that celebration is a custom of man. It is not of the Lord.
All right. Well, let's say they say that this holiday is every year on December 21st, and God approves of it. How do we know it's not? That's not true.
Salakia, sir.
Everyone.
Go ahead, Zabaju.
Concept. It's not in the calendar of the high holy days that Moses gave to us from the Lord.
Right. Getting closer. Sorry, you want?
Salaki, I was gonna say similar to Officer Zabadia, just that he didn't hollow it. He didn't make it separate.
Yes. I mean, you all are right. Take me to Leviticus, is it the 23rd chapter? The answer is that the high holy days, what Zabaju said was correct, what everyone else said was correct. The answer is that the high holy days, none of them are on a specific date. It couldn't be December 25th. Who knows when who knows the actual date Christ was born? I don't know. You know? But I sure as hell know it wasn't December 25th. When do we say Christ was born, Akim?
Salaki, other one.
Go ahead.
During the time of the tax season.
which is when? When is that? Winter, fall, December
So like
25th?
that'll be during spring, otherwise.
What is the spring?
Around so like around March, April.
It's just what I said. What is it? Not when.
So
Spring is a season. The high holy days in the Bible are declared in their seasons.
Karawakan.
Okay, the 15th day of the first month is not April 1st every year. This year is April 1st. Last year it was not April 1st. So to sit somewhere in an air-conditioned cathedral after you've just done a line of coke and say that December 25th every single year is the birth of Christ is just a damn lie. First of all, it's been 2,000 years since the birth of Christ. You had leap years. I believe the calendars changed. I believe at this time they were even using the Gregorian calendar, which was a different heathen calendar. Or they were using the Julian calendar and swapped to the Gregorian calendar. That could very well be possible. I don't have the exact dates off the top of my head. Daylight savings wasn't a thing. You know? I don't believe leap years were a thing either. So to sit around and say he was born December 25th is just a goddamn lie. Go ahead.
Karawakan. Ecclesiasticus chapter 33, verse 8. By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts.
By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished. By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he set apart seasons and feasts. He set apart seasons and feasts. I need someone to take me to Leviticus 23rd chapter where it says in its season. It should be in the beginning of the chapter. If it's not there, let me know. All right. Keep reading, Barakiala.
Karawakan. Verse 9. Some of them had he made high days.
Some of them he made high days. Go ahead. Holidays.
And hollowed them.
And what?
And hollowed them.
Go ahead.
And some of them had he made ordinary days.
Some of them have he made what?
Ordinary days.
All right. December 25th is just an ordinary day.
Karawakan.
Okay. Unless the Feast of Hanukkah is on that day, which it wasn't this year. All right. Go ahead.
Karawakan. Verse 10. All men are from the ground. And
That's it. That's it. Does someone have Leviticus 23 where it says in their seasons?
Karawakan, sir.
Go ahead.
It's Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
In their what?
Their seasons.
In their seasons, Akin. The high holy days were proclaimed in their seasons, not on this day of month every single year, according to the Gregorian calendar. You get my point? The 15th day of the first month is not the same every year. It's not on the same day. It does not fall on the same day of the calendar year, even of the lunar calendar year. It does not fall on the same day every single year, but it is in the same season, Akim. Within this specific season, how do you know it's in this specific season? Because of the number of months that we are on. 15th day of the first month, Passover season. Today it's called the springtime or the spring equinox. All right? Day of Atonement. In that portion of the month, the 9th month, I believe, or the 10th month, around about there. Okay? Today known as the fall equinox. So, Christmas being on December 25th every year is not biblical. Just on that premise. No holiday is on the same day every year in the Bible. And number two, Christ wasn't born on December 25th. Let's go to Luke 3 and 1 on down. Someone pull that for me. Luke chapter 3, verse 1 on down. All right. Anyone have any questions in the room? Anyone in the room have any questions?
Salaki Adawan, I did have a question.
Go ahead.
In the book of Proverbs, when it speaks about a righteous woman, it says that she perceiveth her merchandise, that she knows that it's good.
Right.
So my question to that is that, like surrounding that scripture, how does a sister, how do we teach a sister to gain confidence, and is that also the same for a man?
Well, that scripture isn't talking about confidence per se, but you're asking about how does a woman gain confidence?
Concert.
Okay. From this, okay, let's break the scripture down first.
Come on, sir. Just let me pull it up. This is Proverbs 31. In verse 18, it says, "She perceiveth that her merchandise is good, and her
She
candle goeth."
perceived she
So,
perceiveth that her merchandise is good. What does that mean?
in context, I thought it had to do with that more that she understands like she's a good businesswoman.
That's a good way to put it. She has business savvy. She has a business sense. She's able to conduct herself in a professional way. And then what profession is this? The profession of being a merchant. Idiots and third and fourth wave feminists will lie about the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Indeed, they will lie about the prophets of God and say that we hate women, which is a ridiculous statement when you consider that many of the men in this room have more than one woman, or have had more than one woman. I've had several, what have you, and everyone else in the rooms. Most of us in this picture have had several women at once, at one time, at the same damn time. Okay, more than one woman, but yet we somehow hate women. Okay, that's a lie. The second lie that they'll push is that we just want our women barefoot and pregnant, which is just a blanket term. It was a blanket statement that doesn't really make much sense. A woman's pregnant 9 months out of the year. So even if that's something we did want, there's no way we could fulfill that fantasy, that sick fantasy of ours that they allege that we have, that alleged fantasy that they say we have. Woman's only pregnant 9 months out of the year. So that wouldn't be all the time. But they also say that we don't want women to have jobs or things like that. A woman can absolutely work according to the Bible, and can absolutely and should be encouraged, particularly in this day and age, should be encouraged to bring in some income. It's highly unlikely that you will be able to pull enough income as a breadwinner, or pull enough income as a head of household to maintain an entire household. It's very unlikely in Toronto and in Montreal. So a woman's going to have to kick in. She should kick in and do something. Now, if you have the means to be the breadwinner, then by all means do so. But she should be encouraged to work. And this goes into your question, Shariwan. How does a woman gain confidence? Women, in a similar fashion to men, gain confidence through competence. Confidence is largely obtained through competence. If you've never walked up to a woman and spoken to her before, you're not going to have a lot of confidence in your abilities because you have no data to pull from. Well, I've done this, I've done that. If you've never batted before in baseball, and this is your first time batting in the tryouts, well, that's a bad time for your first time because you lack confidence. Confidence is gained through competence and repetition. So the more that she exercises these different muscles, her muscles of business, her muscles of being a merchant, her merchant muscles, and really using and working her mind for something other than stalking her husband and making sure he doesn't get another woman. When she does that, she'll gain confidence in herself. Yeah, indeed, a truly confident woman in here is not worried about really what her man is doing with other women, because she should know, and she should be confident in what we teach because it's been battle tested. She should be confident in what we teach, that he can get as many women as he well chooses and can handle, but he's not going to leave you. You should be able to rest assured in that. Outside of that, you need to gain competence or some skills in some area. If it is, to your point, Shariwan, if it is being a housewife or a stay-at-home mom, then yeah, truly that is a great skill to have, and that is a quality that is rare in these days and times. Finding a woman that will be willing to settle down at home and not walk around in a short skirt and heels to the club every goddamn weekend is a rarity in this day and age. And so if you can find a woman like that, and she is willing to build that skill, and she builds that skill, she'll gain confidence along with your words of encouragement. Specifically for a woman, As a man, you're going to want to give her words of encouragement, not continually, but one, when she earns it, and two, over a given interval of time. So she's working on something, she's doing well for a period of time. So you're doing a great job. I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job. Let's go out and do something. It can be a free date. You don't have to spend money. Let's go out and grab coffee and talk about your successes. I'm interested in learning more. All right. Women, that's how women will gain confidence. Much of a woman's confidence in that it is different from what differs a woman's confidence from a man's confidence also is really it's her it's what her man thinks of her, says to her. Give me that Genesis 3 and 16. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. You have to put the seeds of confidence in your woman's mind, that she also has to be willing to receive it. All right. What we often get confused as men is that we think we want women to be robots. Well, that wouldn't be very arousing. That wouldn't be very intriguing or enticing. It would kill most of the attraction. The attraction between men and women, the tension between men and women, which is indeed largely sexual, is in the fact that we have distinct differences. Women are not robots. Like most people, they do what you tell them sometimes, and sometimes they don't. But this is one thing that you need to understand about a woman's confidence. Genesis 3 and 16, go ahead.
Genesis 3 and 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Mm-hmm.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
Go ahead.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
And thy what?
Thy desire shall be to thy husband.
And thy what?
Thy desire shall be to thy husband.
You see that, show you one? A woman's desires to her husband, the man that's leading in her life. Problem today with feminism and with what's the destruction of the Black and Latino and First Nation community, her first head, all right, which is truly what a husband is, a ruler, male ruler, all right, or the male in charge of the plot of the field. Her first, or the person that should be her first male ruler, is not there. Her father, or her father was a simp, as they call it today, a weakling, and really wasn't even a voice. Really didn't even have a voice. His larynx, his voice box was ripped out by the dragon of Revelations, all right, in his woman, okay, the red dragon, the black dragon, Salakia, the black dragon, or the West Indian dragon, all right, the First Nation dragon. It's ripped out, so she didn't have a husband. But a woman's desire, Akim, is to her husband. Women's husbands today is society. Most women's husbands today are society. Meaning what? Where they get their validation from, where they get their primary source of attention from, where they get their rocks off, who they get their rocks off by is by society. Going out and interacting with society as it stands today. That's where they get their confidence from. And a righteous man, I want to say high, I don't want to say high values, that's a nonsensical word, but a man of value, a righteous man, truly a man of God is a correct term, would plant the right seeds into her mind, changing where she gets her confidence from, changing what she can confide, root of confidence, confide in. What she confides in, she puts trust in. Your woman needs to understand she needs to put trust in you. You demonstrate that through your actions and the seeds you plant in your mind. She should know clearly, if she's not a dullard, that what you're planting in her mind is good for her. It's good to not smoke cigarettes. It's good to stop smoking cigarettes. It's good to not throw goddamn temper tantrums just because you have a specific sexual organ between your legs and you have breasts. So that gives you license to act like the Taliban in your house. The Taliban post-American withdrawal, Akim. Just kicking and screaming and running up and down the country, running up and down the house, acting amok because you're a woman. You should be able to trust your leadership and your guidance, and you get that trust through example, leading through example, and by putting the right messages into her mind. All right? It's through your actions and what you tell her, what you plant in her mind, Shari, one, to answer your question. That's what gives her confidence. along with the competence she gets through the skills that she earns. But again, women are not robots. They say they want this in a man and a man to lead them and guide them, but a captain can only steer a boat. A captain can only steer a boat. And if you're looking, you're on the waves, the captain's steering the boat's rocking, and you're starting to get seasick. Oh my God. The boat's rocking back and forth. He's not here. He's up in the goddamn hull. Or he's up in the cockpit, Shari Wan. He used to be down here checking out these waves with me. Well, if he's not up if he's not up steering this giant, a giant wheel, the boat's going to sink. We're going to drown. All right? She has to want to go where you're going. And if she doesn't, you tell her, look, there's a raft on the side. You can hop the hell off and start paddling in the world. All right? Start paddling. They call it, other men call it, go, send her back to the streets or what have you. But if she doesn't like where your boat's going because the boat's rocking and she's starting to get seasick and she can't see the horizon for the waves, you let her go. But ladies, what you need to understand is that though the boat is rocking, though there's some tumultuousness, though there's some unease in your mind, what you need to do is you need to look out at the horizon. If you've ever been on a boat out and you've got sick, one of the ways to prevent yourself from throwing up or becoming so sick that you're incapacitated is you look at the horizon, not the waves, Shariwan. Far too many women in relationships, they look at the waves and they see the wave moving, and it's not how they want. It's not how they want the waves to move. It's not, we're not smooth sailing. So when the seas get rough, they do the thing you don't do, which is jump the hell off the boat. You stay on the boat till the goddamn thing sinks. But too many women in America and in first world countries, Shariwan, believe that they can just hop off the boat. And what they find out is they're out at sea with the whale that Moby Dick was trying to kill. Right? And sharks, etc. And they're eaten up and chewed up and spit out by these sharks and swallowed whole by these whales and ejected from the backsides of these whales and sharks. All right? She's got to be able to see the horizon. You're the captain of the ship. She gets sick. She needs to look out into the goddamn horizon. She needs to see where you're going and see that it's going to be beneficial for her in the long term. Beats being out in the streets. It's cold right now, Akim. Beats being out in those streets, those cold streets. Hope that answered your question, all right?
Come on, sir.
But their desire of any woman is to a man, society, or if it's a man with testicles, with testicular fortitude, her confidence is sourced through him. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. So, like, and just and is this why we say that we teach that it's important to teach our daughters to be smart?
Yes, to not be dummies, to be able to think for themselves. People are so-called woke, but woke, no one's really woke. No one's awakened except for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, the Israelites. Because though we talk about these vaccines and their efficacy, etc., and whether they're bad for you, etc., we get awakened or woke over dumb things, but over going to the club and acting like a whore, which is what society pushes, or the Meg Thee Stallion case, going out and sleeping with everybody, but being defended by the courts, is something that dould be praised. And so, yes, that's why. Give me that scripture in the Apocrypha where it says the father haveth a care over her daughter, or hast thou daughters have a care over them. It's very, very important that you watch over your daughter. Otherwise, you're giving another man, you're giving me a terrible product. Something that I've got to go work through and talk to and counsel and this and that and hear cry and be on the phone for 5 hours with, etc. All right? Let's get that precept. What precepts do I have held right now? Uh-huh.
I'm holding Luke chapter 3, verse 1.
Okay, hold that. Let's get the scripture. Hast thou daughters, have a care over them. And if you have a wife as well, Akim, have a care over her as well. Have a care over her as well. Not in a, they'll call it controlling. They'll call it controlling. And when you start to hear that language repetitively, you let them go out and do what it is that they're going to do. Because they don't want to be controlled by you. We just read in the scriptures, didn't we not, Akim, that it says a man or a husband will dominate a woman, right? Rule over you. What was it? Rule over you or dominate? What word was that?
Rule, sir.
Rule. All women are controlled by men. We just read that in the Bible.
Great.
Just read that in the Bible. That's why women will ask you, does this dress make me look fat? That's why women wear short shorts and act like whores, because that's what many men will have sex with, etc., etc. All right, so all women are controlled. A bad woman wants to be controlled by the streets. A good woman should want to be controlled by you, because being controlled by you leads to a life free of STDs, leads to a life free of illicit sex, leads to a life free of domestic violence, leads to a life free of drugs, free of her children being molested. And if she wants to trade that to have a few orgasms with strange men, then she'll get just what she deserves for being a piece of garbage. Go ahead.
John, sir. I'm holding Ecclesiasticus chapter 7 and verse 24.
Come on.
Hast thou daughters?
Hast thou what?
Hast thou daughters?
You got daughters? Listen, you Akim with daughters, man, you should give yourselves a hand, because you all are amazing, amazing brothers. I pray. Confession is good for the soul. I pray to the most. Let me stop. Anyway, you got daughters. You got daughters. You are, you a strong dude, man. You have a great task ahead of you. I got two sons, two boys right now. I thank the Most High for them, man. All right, go ahead.
Have a care of their body.
This is why I was about to say what I was about to say about what I said about myself having daughters. Because when you have a daughter, you have to have a special care for her body. All right. If you do not control, I'm going to use that word, control, and watch over the behaviors of women, you will destroy society. And truly, indeed, society is destroyed by simps and sexual deviants. Men who exploit women who are sexually debaucherous. Whores, in other words. Have a care over her body, man. Watch what she wears. If she wears a short skirt at 15, Akim, it's only going to get shorter as she gets older. She's just a kid. She's just a little girl. Look, it's not that long. That's what the mother will say. It's not that short. I get it's not that short, but it's only going to get shorter with age. The skirt only gets shorter with age. Do not believe you got a child. You got a rib in the world. She's trying to dress her daughter up. She's trying to dress her daughter up like a Big Lotto, or like Mulatto, or like Meg Thee Stallion, or like who's that other one from New York? Ice Spice. Your daughter's trying to, your child's mother's trying to dress your daughter up like Ice Spice. And you tell her, look, no, it's only going to get worse from here. It's only going not downhill, Shariwan. The skirt's not going downhill. We want the skirt to go downhill, down to the ankles. The skirt's not going downhill, Akim. The skirt's going uphill, way up to the crotch, to the point where you see sisters in the club, man, they can't move, bend at all. Otherwise, you getting flashed. Okay, you getting mooned, full out. That's the dark side of the moon, Adiyar. The dark meat. You getting mooned with two well-cooked briskets. Salakia. Okay? That's embarrassing as a man to have a woman walking around the earth dressed like that. It'd be hard for me to sleep. My honor, what I've done, what I've accomplished in the world, what I've accomplished in the truth, to have a daughter walking around with her briskets hanging out, it'd just be a stain on my honor. And I have to carry it to my grave. If you don't want that, watch over her body, man. Watch what she wears. Tell her the girls that don't dress like that are going to be pregnant at 16, and they're going to have STDs. They're going to have crabs. They get crabs that crawl around their vagina. Little spiders that crawl around them. Go ahead.
And show not thyself cheerful toward them.
Don't show yourself cheerful. And to a woman as well. To your rib as well. Joking with your rib and all that is good every now and again, but your rib should mostly see you as a serious man. And your daughter should certainly see you as a serious man. All that joking, hee and ha, that's not how you do it. Okay? And a little bit of game, a little bit of sauce. You joke and you be playful with her, but don't show yourself too cheerful or be too happy, smiling too much to a woman you're trying to get with, because that's a one-way ticket to what they call the friend zone. Like I said, you want to establish sexual polarity. You want to establish that tension that leads to the opposites attracting one another. Men are serious. Women are generally more childish. All right. Don't show yourself cheerful to your daughters. Have fun, joke with them, and she should see you as serious, and she should take your words seriously.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
Marry thy daughter. You marry your daughter, man, you performed a weighty matter. It's a very serious thing to marry a woman off. Again, I don't see the misogyny here, Akim. I haven't read it yet.
Right.
I've looked at the Bible with an atomic microscope. I'd asked lawyers. Do you see the misogyny in here? I've asked street cats. You know what I mean? You see any misogyny here? And no one's been able to give me a straight answer. This doesn't sound like misogyny. This sounds like protecting women. Isn't that what they say, Sherwan? Protect black women?
Right.
We'll protect so-called black women. We will not protect hoes. Whores never got any protection. What planet are you on? They were always treated like spit. That's not going to change because of the sexual revolution. I got a book I'm reading, Akim. It's called The Evolution of Desire. You know, this is one of the topics I can go on about for years. You know, women. You know what I mean? I could sit here for hours talking about it. But with the increasing and permissiveness of women's sexuality, what hasn't changed is men's preference for women who are not whores in terms of long-term relationships. It's an interesting thing to note. You have daughters, have a care over them. Marry your daughter, you performed a weighty matter. You got to be careful who you hand your daughter off to. And if you marry your daughter, you give her to another man, you've performed a heavy task. It's been a heavy task to teach her, etc. That's why part of the reason why the dowry was set. So that she'd have money, in case something happened. And so you'd be compensated for your work, because that was a job you did. You're a professional. You bring a woman in line in today's world, let alone 2,000 years ago, rather, let alone today's world.
Right.
You performed a weighty matter. And it also says what? Marrying your daughter off. Why? Part of the problem with men's and women's relationships today is that women have a very large input in who they date and who they have sex with. And so they'll largely just do whatever. This was never the case. This hasn't been the case for thousands of years. For thousands of years, many cultures across the earth had existed in a system where the man would pair the woman with the son of another man. And they would speak with each other. In our culture, if you weren't compatible, you weren't forced to marry each other. That's why we have the courtship process. That courtship process is had with a man, in the case of Canada, me, contacting someone in the school or a general, what have you, to discuss whether these two should be together for courtship. And if it doesn't work, then it's not happening. Through the courtship period, of course. You performed a weighty matter. All right? That's it on that. Do you have anything else you want to add on that?
So lucky I don't want, if I may.
Go ahead.
Concern at the water. So is Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 11 will be a good precept as well.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 11. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies.
Yeah, you got a woman that's shameless, that's twerking online, or that's stealing, fighting everybody loud. She's another one. You got a party girl. Your daughter's a party girl. She likes to go to parties and all that, get drunk, get high and all that. Keep a quick a tight guard over her. Lest what? Read that last part.
Lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies.
You're gonna be a laughing stock. They're gonna pull your daughter up on OnlyFans. This is her. And you're gonna see what you should never have seen from your daughter. It's going to traumatize you, man. You'll be a laughing stock, the enemies, and that's part of the reason why we're a laughing stock as well, because women are acting like park animals out here in the United States and in Canada. In these Western countries, our women are acting like animals and doing whatever the hell that we want, that they want. So we were a laughing stock to so-called Caucasians, Asians, Arabs, Africans. We're a laughing stock to the other nations. Is that to say their women aren't whores, etc. too? No, but they've been trained. They've been house trained. Okay, I'll put it that way. We're not politically correct over here. You want political correctness? Turn on C-SPAN, okay, or go to Ottawa and listen to the Parliament talk, argue about raising your taxes, making you poor. If you want political correctness, we're not politically correct over here. A lot of these women just simply were not house trained. They didn't learn etiquette. They didn't learn how to function, how to operate, curse like sailors. Marked their body, covered their body. It looked like it got a damn kid's coloring book. Those tattoos you can't even see under a damn. You couldn't see under a damn microscope. You wouldn't know what the hell that says. Because many men didn't watch over shameless daughters. Didn't have a chance to. And now we become a laughing stock to our enemies. All right, yeah, that's a precept. That's a precept for keeping your daughter in. You don't keep your daughter in, then you're gonna have what you have on social media, which is a bunch of naked broads just running around doing whatever they feel like doing. Because I felt like it, you know, and feelings will get you hurt. All right.
Canada one gun, so it's water, sir.
All right, let's go. Anabar, let's go to Christmas.
Yeah, the water, sir.
Brachyala. Anabar. Brachyala.
Luke chapter 3, verse 1 out of 1.
Go ahead.
Luke chapter 3, verse 1. Now, in the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, Pontius Pilate, Pontius Pilate being governor of Judea, and Herod being tetrarch of Galilee, and his brother Philip, tetrarch of Iturea, and of the region of Trachonitis, and Lysanias, the tetrarch of Abilene. Verse 2, Annas and Caiaphas being the high priest.
Caiaphas.
Annas and Caiaphas being the high priest, the word of God came unto John, the son of Zacharias, in the wilderness. Verse 3, and he came into all the country about Jordan, preaching the baptism of repentance for the remission of sins.
Remission.
For the remission of sins.
Read on. Skip down where it says all the world should be taxed. That should be in this chapter. Is it not in this chapter? You see it on verse 5.
Not verse 5 out of 1.
Go to Luke. It might be in Luke 2 then. Go to Luke 2 and 3. This isn't the right chapter. We're going to prove Christ. We're going to show you when Christ was born according to the Bible. Go ahead to Luke 2.
This is Luke chapter 2, verse 3. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city.
All went to be taxed. The Roman tax season was during the same time period as the American tax season, springtime. Canadian tax season, springtime. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David.
Because he was of the house and lineage of David. Who else was of the house and lineage of David, Brachyala?
Yahushua, who people call Christ today.
Right. Another precept proving that Joseph is the father of Christ. Continue.
Verse 5. To be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife.
His espoused wife. She was already his, but they didn't have the formal ceremony. At this time, they took great care to make sure that the marriage ceremony was had, which was the party, banqueting, or what have you that we had in Israel, along with the formal meeting and an agreement that was had between the fathers, the father of the bride at least. Excuse me. But she was his. They had sex, and the sex is what brought Christ into the world. Go ahead.
Being great with child.
Great with child. She's pregnant. Continue.
Verse 6. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered.
Mhm.
Verse 7. And she brought forth her firstborn son.
She brought forth her firstborn son. We all know who that is. Jesus, or Yahushua in the Hebrew, was had during the Roman tax season. During the Roman tax season. All right. Let's start rattling down those quotes that I sent you guys in the chat. We'll start rattling those down. I'm going to stay for a few more minutes, Akim, and I'm going to roll. If you needed any breakdowns, had any questions for me beforehand, let me know. I was going to leave around 9, 10 or so, and you all are going to rock the rest of the class out, all right? ADR?
Sorry.
Come, sir.
All right, the water. I appreciate it, Akim. It's like you about to set up. It's like you about to set up with the car. The school is not able to go into the school right now. All right. This is the first I.S.U.P.K Canada class / Car Chronicles. All right. Go ahead, Zabaji.
So, okay, sir, I got some clips and videos that you sent. Do you want those first? Those were the first things you sent, or do you want me to go into these quotes?
Let's play the videos. If I sent you videos, well, it's like I don't recall sending any videos, but if they're topical, let's play them.
Salakia, sir. One moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loading them up right now, sir.
Come on.
Salakia, the one.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask because that seemed like a heavy point to me about the tax season thing.
Right. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
That seemed real heavy to me. I wanted to ask, so like they is that the only time an empire did the same thing that that America copied, that a tax season thing?
Are you saying countries are you asking if countries around the world copied the Roman model of the tax season?
No, just empires in general. Like not only the Roman, but like Greek. Did they do the same thing too?
I have to look that up. Can we look that up when it was a Greek tax season? This, according to this chapter, it says that this specific taxation was made under the rule of Caesar Augustus under the Roman Empire. So if they had other forms of taxation, or they had other times where they tax people, then sure, we should look into when that was done. But to answer your question, the Roman Empire, here's what I can say now. The Roman Empire taxed people during the springtime. And America as well as Canada does it as well, all right?
Okay. And then second question. I forgot my question. Never mind. Salakia, sir.
Come on, when you get it, just let me know. All right.
Okay.
Water. Does someone have that up? The Greek tax season?
Salakia, other one. For the Greek tax season,
Yep.
what time are you asking for?
Ancient, like before the Roman Empire. Ancient Greek or Macedonian Empire tax season. Mace, like MACE, Donian, DONIAN. Tax season.
Gotcha.
Zabajan, you have the clips. You can pull them up to the front so we can see it, and I'll answer this question. I'll finish wrapping this up.
Sir, I believe it's a clip of Salakia, sir, you speaking on law enforcement says murder is a seasonal high.
Oh, okay. I mean,
holidays.
Did you think this was pertinent? I didn't share that to play it today. I just shared it so you guys could see it. I mean, those videos were from like 5 years ago.
Oh.
I actually just found that channel. That was an old channel I had from like 5 years ago. And I was just sharing those clips with you guys because I had some good information. Where they mentioned that the murder rate spikes in December. They specifically listed that month. Another reason why I shared those clips with you because those articles you probably aren't going to be able to find now on Google. I can almost guarantee that article where it says spikes in December, you won't be able to find. I tried to search the same thing yesterday. It's been like 5 years. I tried to search the same thing yesterday, and they say that the spike in crime generally happens in August, but they also mention that there are increases in December, as we'll mention later on in these quotes that I sent you guys. Let's go on down the quotes, all right?
Salakia,
sir.
Brachiala, go ahead.
What I found on the Greek Empire tax season, it says The financial year in Greece is between January 1st and December 31st of the same calendar year. So taxes, however, are imposed on the next financial year. So the tax is the one after the year of income. So you must file your tax returns by March 2nd after the end of the tax year.
There you go. That sounds like it's from today. Greece today, yeah. But it's all done during the springtime. Did other empires do it? That'll be something to look up. But the Roman Empire, which is, the daughter of the empires that rule today, they did it in the spring. All right, and that's when Christ was born. Let's go on the quotes, all right?
Sir, I got one for you, Salakia said. This one's for the city girls out there, right? This quote says, for anyone unlucky enough to pick up an STD at work's Christmas party, the bad news is the festive period is the biggest time of the year for sexual health clinics.
For what?
Sexual health clinics.
Oh, boy. Ugh. Y'all getting full of everything. All manner of sexually transmitted diseases, families being destroyed, broken up, women whoring on their husbands, OnlyFans models walking up and down the digital stroll, okay, selling their bodies. Terrible time of year, man. It's a dirty time of year. That's what this is. It's a nasty time of year. Christmas can be summed up in one word: oppression, man. Financial oppression. You can't afford rent in Toronto. You're gonna buy gifts for your kids. You can't afford rent in your own. We somehow are gonna muster up, scrape together the last bit of pennies that we have to make Jeff Bezos a couple $1 billion richer. Go look at their net worths, man. Jeff Bezos and those commerce cats, e-commerce cats. They're getting richer, man. Christmas is great for the rich. It's terrible for everyone else. It's stressful for everyone else. Full of STDs for everyone else. Take me to Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter, where it mentions spiritual fornication is the beginning of evil. Something along those lines. All right. STDs, that's the first quote. Whoring. All right. Nastiness. Is there a spike in STDs during the Passover? I think not, Akim. Those of you that caught AIDS and HIV during Christmas, you have to ask yourself something. Would you have caught it if you've been celebrating the Lord's true holidays? I don't know. I don't think so. I think not. We don't have threesomes at our high holy days and orgies, nasty, disgusting orgies, group sex, two men having sex with the same damn woman. Next quote.
Kawakana. Next quote we got Salakia. Okay, so although it hasn't been extensively studied, experts guess that the reason behind this increase in crimes is related to desperation.
To what?
Desperation.
Right. That's part of the reason why there's so much crime going on outside in Canada right now. Desperation. You got to buy toys for those brats, those 4 brats. What was the race of those 8 girls that swarmed that dude in Toronto and killed him? Shariwan or Zabaja? Who did that? Do we know about the girls? I guess we can't.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
If I could. Sorry, my daughter. But they were Esau. They were heathen, sir.
Edomites in Toronto swarmed a man and killed him, murdered him. If they didn't swarm him, if they weren't on their way to Toronto, Guantanamo South, Zabaja, what do you think they'd be getting right about now? These little badass little murderers. What would they be getting right now?
iPad, sir. An iPad.
They'd be getting new goddamn gifts. So what's the point of this damn holiday if every brat, whore, woman that's cheating on you is getting a damn gift? Right now in Canada, there's some idiot West Indian wearing matching pajamas with a woman that cheated on him with everybody. The Iranians got some, Shariwan. The Armenians, the French, the Dutch. She's talking to you. She's speaking different dialects. No matter what she got in her from a multicultural nation like Canada, and you two are wearing matching sweaters right now. Damn dummy. A damn dummy. She doesn't deserve a damn gift, man. If you were wise, if you were in the truth, you'd scrape together the last little bit of balls you had left, and you leave that wench, man. You leave that disgusting woman. Let the Iranians give her a gift. Let Khomeini and them give her gifts. And the Taliban she's sleeping with. Okay? The West Indians, Haitians, Let them give her gifts, man. Your woman and a lot of you women in the world, she doesn't deserve a gift. You should tell her that. You don't deserve a gift. I have this program laid out and you're not following it. Christmas teaches women, and Zabadja, you know, you were tuned into the great space yesterday. Also, Akim Salakia, I'm starting a space in Twitter. They call it Spaces. It's Twitter's version of the Clubhouse, app, that product that Clubhouse has. It's called Spaces, where you can get in and get on the audio and record audio with a title. I'm making a space, and it is called the Great Space, Akim, because as you know, we have the greatest spaces on Twitter. Those of you that were tuned into the Great Space yesterday, I urge you, I implore you to go back and listen to the other Great Space on Twitter that I had. What is Christmas actually? I went into great detail how Christmas teaches women terrible lessons. What does it teach them? It teaches them that no matter how they act or behave, no matter what they show them, no matter how they portray themselves on social media, the man will still give them gifts. You'll even see it online. There'll be women posting pictures full out naked, and then as you scroll down, as you go down your timeline, they have a man. Yeah, there's a dude co-signing that, which is just that is amazing to me. That's amazing to me. You know where she learned that she could do that, and the man would still be weak enough, be spineless enough to still lay down with her and mix his DNA with other men's DNA. You know where how he became that weak? You know how she learned that lesson? Christmas. Everybody's online. The manosphere was Kevin Samuels. Now it's this cat, Andrew Tate, this guy, that guy. Everybody's complaining about how women act now, but all those fools, Andrew Tate still celebrating Christmas. You all have heard of Andrew Tate, right?
Kind.
Yeah, Andrew Tate, who is he's an Israelite. He's an Israelite according to his story. He's an Israelite, but I don't know who the cat is. I never met him. Him and his brother, Israelites, but their father, so-called Negro, what have you. That fool's celebrating Christmas tomorrow, man. Christmas, straight up. But at the other side, women are this, women are that, men are this, men are that. Yeah, because as men, we just hand them goddamn gifts every December 25th. We put on matching Christmas outfits with whores every December 25th. You got a woman posting up naked. A few posts later, you showing up dreads and all. My girl. My love of my life. A joke. A goddamn joke, man. Christmas is what taught all of that.
Right.
Your woman should not get a goddamn gift for Christmas. You tell her, man, you're not on my program. Every other thing I tell you turns into a goddamn argument, this, that, or the third. No, you're not getting a gift. And those little brats, they don't deserve a gift either. I'm in Philadelphia. Philadelphia just topped 400 murders. You know what all these little badass little kids are getting? That beat people to death with traffic cones and steal and mob Wawas and tear the Wawas up. You know what they're getting right now? All these little brats are getting gifts. All these little brats can't be told no, get into a fight, ready to act like women and shoot each other. Gonna explode. Like your woman blows up emotionally over something that's small, right? You tell her, she said, do I look fat in this dress? You say, you look okay. Oh, well, I look fat. And you the same way in Canada. Oh my God, he looked at me. You starting shooting like you goddamn. What's that Disney mouse? Mickey Mouse. Shooting and can't even goddamn shoot. Unprofessional. Amateur killers, man. Hitting everybody but the damn target. Why? Christmas teaches people to be weak. Christmas is the holiday of losers, man. Losers and suckers celebrate Christmas. And this is a prophet's job to shame these damn holidays. Say things that nobody wants to talk about. You want your woman to behave? Reward her for good behavior. That's how any mammal learns. You got a mouse. You want the mouse to stay on the wheel. The hamster to stay on the wheel. You zap it. Give it pain. You zap it when it doesn't do what you want it to do. With a horse, you whip the horse. You got the bridle. You tap the horse a little bit when you want it to go a certain direction. When it's going in the direction you don't want it to go in, you pull it. That's how mammals learn. Women are no different. They're mammals. Just like men are mammals. Mammals learn through pain. Learn to not do things through pain. Not physical pain, of course. I'm not saying to beat her half to death. That's not what I'm saying. Put hands on her. Emotional pain, what have you, through telling her no. No, we're not getting any damn kids for Christmas. She's going to leave. All right, goodbye. You get tenfold more. Tenfold more. But you got to stand the hell up, man. You got to stand the hell up. Otherwise, the way the women act is the way you want them to act. The way children act up and down these streets of Toronto is the way you want them to act. Yeah, damn gift. Give me a damn break. Read the scripture. Read Wisdom of Solomon 14. Read what I want.
Kawakan. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
For the Salaki Adawan?
Go ahead.
Kawakan. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
Spiritual fornication. That's the beginning of spiritual fornication. Ooh, the Most High was great in using that word, spiritual fornication. You letting your woman get excited. She's emotionally aroused. She's giddy. She's giddy like a little girl. You're not with her in bed. You know what I mean? You didn't give her a gift when you thought it good to give her a gift. Another man told you that this is when you give your woman a gift, little darky. Give her a set of steel drums. Give her a set of steel drums and some rum, little darky, and a little bracelet with some steel drums. Okay? That's what they've given us these days, and we're giving our wives these gifts on these days. She's getting emotionally aroused. Your woman's getting, understand this. Your woman's getting emotionally aroused for another man's holiday. Woo! Nobody talks about it like that, do they? You never heard that before. That's shameful, man. That's sick. That's disgusting. Your woman should get excited on the holidays that are celebrated by your people, by your forefathers. That's why the Lord calls it, part of the reason why he calls it spiritual fornication, because you're getting aroused emotionally, not necessarily sexually. Well, in the case of Christmas, sexually, with the orgies and all that. You're getting emotionally and sexually aroused. Your woman is getting emotionally aroused, sexually aroused. Some of you don't get sex except on Christmas. We see you. We know what's going on behind these doors. We know what's going on. Some of you don't get any sex, no, nothing from your woman. Your woman shows out for you on Christmas. It's Christmas, honey. Does the thing she doesn't normally do. So Salakia. You know what I mean? Like I said, Akim, you see me in all black one day, cut on cut. I say cut on cut, you guys, you understand why. Salakia. Okay? But listen, somebody's got to say it. Your woman's doing things for you on Christmas she'll never do. She's doing things for you on New Year's she would never do. She's doing things for other men on New Year's that she would never do for you. Oh boy. Woo. Oh boy, don't do it. Don't do it, Charlie One. Don't do it, Adiyar. Okay? It's a damn shame, man. It's spiritual fornication. You laying down with, as a man, letting your woman bed down with another man's ideologies. It's disgusting. It's why we say what we say with the velocity, with the aggression that we say it. Because as a man, you have to stand up and push your people to serve your God, the God of your forefathers. Otherwise, they're liable to do what another man does, what another man wants them to do, which is what? Have sex with everybody, and then when someone shoots you, get them. You tell us, and we'll get them arrested, little darky, with that Meg Thee Stallion case. That Meg Thee Stallion case also. This is not the official stance. This is my take. I speak as a man. That Meg Thee Stallion case is going to get a lot of black women in big trouble, because Meg Thee Stallion, she has the money or the clout. The fake Jews, the little hats, can get her a lawyer. The lawyers can come in and get an excellent case. When you're gang raped, nobody's going to do a goddamn thing about it. When one of your 90,000 is like there's like 100 goddamn thousand black women just, I don't know. Where's Shaniqua? I don't know. Oh well. Open and shut case, Mr. Johnson. 90,000 of them as of a few years ago. They find them in hotels, sex trafficking, the whole nine. Don't give a goddamn. You know why? Because of precedents, such as Meg Thee Stallion's precedent. Meg Thee Stallion is setting a terrible precedent for regular black women. Rich black women can do that. You, on the other hand, these three men, they raped me. Well, it was just, here's what the judge is saying in the back of her mind. It was just a hot girl summer. Do you have any photos of these people? You knew them? You went to the party? Sorry, man, there's nothing we can do to help you. Nothing we can do to help you. Another thing they're teaching black people to do, shoot it out, darkies. Shoot each other over infidelity, all this other nonsense. Those Israelites, they're wrong for telling you to just leave. Just leave the broad. She's sleeping with Ben Simmons. And that's why Ben Simmons was trash, too. Ben Simmons is trash. Now we know why. He was the best player in the league. Damn, homie. In 2020, you were the man, homie. What happened? I knew what happened. You messing with Big P, Megan P. Okay, you sleep with Megan Pete, another man's woman, man. Now you trash, Ben Simmons. Straight up trash. I'll play you one-on-one right now. Right now. Okay? Right now, Brody. Salakia. And going a little off the rails here. It's Salakia. You know what I'm saying? It's
Salakia,
warranted.
brother.
It's a
Salakia, sir, if
disgusting
I may.
holiday. Zabaji, go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all talk a little bit. Go ahead, Zabaji.
Constant. It's just interesting that you said that because, like, when you look at a lot of, especially athletes, I'm gonna keep it to athletes, right? A lot of athletes that they were superstars or had potential to hit superstar status. Their downfall is always some whore in the world, right? That's
Always.
always their downfall. You look at Tupac, you look at Tyson, you look at this so many athletes and
John
so many
Jones.
black celebrities. Some whore is always their downfall.
Yep. Go ahead, Brock Allen.
Can't throw out other one. Salakia, would it be fair to say that with the situation of Megan, the male horse, that basically it would encourage sisters to lie about whatever on whoever and think they could get away with it?
Oh, some of them are. Oh, they lie, Akim. I know that firsthand. They lie straight up and down. Women lie in court. Women lie in court under oath, like 90 going north, and the judge will just let it. The judge will just let it happen. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing how much leeway they give women. Yet they, on the other side of the coin, they'll flip for equality. Let's be equal then. If a man walks into court and starts crying and complain all that other, I want to kill myself. If you don't sit your ass down, that's what a judge would say. If a black man walked in court, a beard, 30, 40 years old, I wanted to kill myself. We're gonna get you killed. You want death row? You want death row, darky? Sit your ass down. That's just what happened, man. Equal rights. Let's have equal rights in the courthouse. You walk into court with a woman, you'll see just how much equality there actually is. None. There's no that equality nonsense. That's work. That's for white women in corporate jobs, and that's about it. Anywhere else in society, they treat women like girls, like women, because they are more emotional, allowed to cry and get irate and scream in court. There's not a place to scream or get emotional in, etc. Lie to the police, lie in court, allowed to do those things because they're held to a feminine standard. The sidebar, again, another sidebar. This Meg Thee Stallion case is going to be terrible for regular black women. Regular black women think that they can live the hot girl summer that Meg lives. Let me tell you another thing that you don't know. You dumb so-called black women don't know. A lot of these relationships that they're getting in with these celebrities are had through lawyers. They talk to each other. They get the paperwork for sexually transmitted diseases, and they have very this group sex and all this orgies they're having are very curated. Everyone gets STD checks before they go in, etc. You walking around the streets and meeting somebody at the goddamn bus stop or on the side of the road and having sex with them in a week. This is a terrible precedent for black women. It's going to get a lot of black women hurt. It's going to get a lot of black women hurt, and it's going to set another precedent that black women they're just having sex with everybody. So if they come in and complain that they are raped, well, how can you take it seriously? And then it leads to this cycle of sexual violence against black women that's not reported. You can't have it both ways, ladies. You can't have it both ways. Either you're going to be protected or you're going to be allowed to live and do what you want on the streets. Let me tell you something. The streets are rough.
Yeah.
The streets are rough. You can get taken advantage of on these streets. Brothers know. Women learn the hard way. That's enough on that. I mean, the spiritual fornication, Wisdom of Solomon 14. Continue.
There's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
That was the beginning of it. Men's and women's relationships deteriorating, drug crime, swarms of little teenage girls murdering people. The beginning of that was Christianity. God loves you no matter what you do. You're free to do what you want. God knows your heart. Jesus knows your heart. And all that other garbage. The laws of God are done away with. So I guess you can murder too. Christian needs to answer that, man. The laws of God are done away with. The laws of God include not raping women. So is that thrown away? Not shooting people. Is that thrown away? Continue.
Karawakan. And the invention of them, the corruption of life.
Corruption of life. You see that, Hakim? That's where the life is corrupted. The life is corrupted with the devising of idols. This idol says you can be sexually free. This idol says God knows your heart. This idol says Jesus died for all of your sins, no matter what you do, past, present, and future. I don't know where that is in the Bible. That's not in the damn Bible. Beginning of the devising of idols is the beginning of the corruption of life, theft, murder, adultery, etc. Read on.
Verse 13. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
Drop that or hold that, Slakia. Stay where you are. Zabadja,
Khan,
keep rattling down those quotes.
Khan, sir. Where do we leave off? Some people are looking for goods to give to their family members or friends over the holiday seasons, while others may simply be facing more financial difficulty as the year comes to an end.
That's a damn lie. What's happened at the end of the year that's giving you financial difficulty? Oh, you have to pay this one-time bill of January 1st, Shariwan, of $2,000? No. You know what's happening at the end of the year? Christmas is happening at the end of the year, and that's what's putting financial pressure on people. The hell, nothing else changes in the end of the year. There's no new monetary system that comes into fruition every year. None of it changes except Christmas and New Year. Christmas and New Year's is oppression, man. Christmas is oppression, man. Economic oppression. Look at the consumer debt in Canada. It's ridiculous. Look at the consumer debt in America. It's ridiculous. You can't afford this stuff, all this stuff you have. But you buy it anyway. The house of cards is coming down, man. Every year it's going to be harder and harder to celebrate Christmas. The Lord's going to make a clear line between those that serve him and those that don't. Those that will continue to sacrifice for false gods and STDs and broken up families versus those who will sacrifice for the kingdom of heaven, for rulership on this planet Earth.
Right.
Over all nations. That line's being drawn, man. Get with the winning team. Continues about you.
In addition, with more people out and about carrying expensive items, the holidays are also the perfect time for opportunistic criminals to strike.
Akim, you've seen the videos all over the United States. Jake stealing packages like 90 going north. Why? Because people are getting poorer and poorer every year. The dope trade's getting drier and drier every year. Drugs we used to kill each other over and die and give up our lives to learn the business model of and learn to sell. You can buy it in a damn store now. Dispensaries everywhere. It's just, oh well. It's a joke. Continue.
Research from the debt charity Step Change in December 2022 found that concerningly, a quarter of survey respondents, 25%, felt they would struggle to afford Christmas.
Yeah, most of you can't afford it. It's higher than that. The only reason that the rest can afford it is largely due to credit cards. Those credit cards are a gift and a curse to many of you. Someone else get me the liberty that is in Christ, all right, in the New Testament. Barak, hold what you have in the wisdom of Solomon. Get me the liberty that is in Christ. You don't have to go under bone-crushing credit card debt in the I.S.U.P.K. We don't ask you to pay triple and quadruple tithes. You have to pay 10%. And if we're taking trips, you put in what you can put in on trips. We've gone to the school. I've put in a fair share, a large share of the recent trips, financially, etc. We put in what we can afford and go where we can afford. And if all else fails, we go broke, not under, I mean, not in debt, but broke for the right reasons, for the truth's sake. You're running up credit card debt to lie to your kids and say that a fat white man is climbing down your non-existent chimney to eat non-existent milk and cookies. And then wonder why your children don't respect you when they get older. You lied to them, man. No one respects a liar. Go ahead.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 13. For brethren, you have been called unto liberty.
Call unto what?
unto liberty.
Unto liberty. There's a freedom in being restricted in the truth. I repeat, there's a freedom in being restricted in the truth. Many people are restricted in this kingdom, Akim. Athletes, people that train, mixed martial arts, boxing, football. They have specific diets that they can eat and specific foods they can eat, specific foods that they cannot eat. Many people are restricted, but there is great benefit. There is liberty in being restricted in the truth. What is one of those liberties? You're not subjecting yourself to crippling credit card debt every year, sinking yourself further and further into the debt rabbit hole, if you will. Read on.
Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh.
Don't use liberty to an occasion of the flesh. Don't use the freedom that you have to do something according to the flesh. Don't use this liberty to sin, man. The Lord's giving you great liberty. He's freed you from credit card debt. He's freed you from having to buy brats and women that won't leave you soon anyway, having to buy them toys. Don't use that freedom you have to go sin, man, to go do something against the laws of God. Go ahead.
But
Matter
by
of fact,
love,
it's like you finish that verse.
okay. But by love, serve one another.
By love, serve one another. All right. Zabadja, keep going.
Khan. What's more, almost a third of people, 30%, were planning on cutting back on everyday spending to fund the festive season.
So you cutting back, not for the Passover, right? Not for the Feast of Hanukkah. You're cutting back financially to fuel Jeff Bezos's quest for space conquest. We're cutting back financially to lie to our kids and say some fat white man is climbing down some non-existent chimney to give us gifts. That's what we're sacrificing for. It's evil and wicked, man. It's evil and wicked. We should be sacrificing, putting our money. We should be cutting our costs to travel to Canada. That's what we should be doing. We should be cutting costs to travel to Halifax. Shout out Halifax, July 15th, 2023. I'm going to be cutting down on personal spending, Akim. I'm going to be cutting down on personal spending, not to erect a tree in my house. I'm cutting down on personal spending to go and talk to the tribe of Judah in Halifax and teach the truth. Cutting down on personal spending to go to Toronto, Montreal, etc. That's the sacrifice we need to make. All right. I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, Akim. I've got stuff to do tomorrow. The water for having me for this class. All right, it's a very informative class. I'm always glad and honored to teach the brothers and sisters in Canada, in the nation of Canada, one of the largest countries on earth, another country where Blacks, Latinos, and First Nations dwell. All right. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, I.S.U.P.K. Canada. Like the page on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram, I.S.U.P.K. Canada. I keep the content refreshed there fairly regularly. Check us out on TikTok, I.S.U.P.K. Canada. All right, Akim, you're going to go into, you can break down the rest of Wisdom of Solomon 14. If there's any verses in there you don't know, you can just ask me after and just skip it. All right, you can go to Wisdom of Solomon 14. You can go back to Ecclesiasticus 33 and 7. Go to Isaiah 57, where it says they inflamed themselves under every green tree. Inflamed themselves under a tree. You can go to that precept. You can go to Leviticus 23, where it lists the specific high holy days that we should celebrate, and wrap the class up. All right, Akim? Adiar? All right, Akim, I'm going. Shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yashab Rakathum. Yahweh Shemar Al Thun Bashim Yashab. All right, shalom.
Okay, Bible question, Priest, Officer Zabadja, can you take over Bible question?
Cut. All right, so where were we? Did anybody write down those precepts that Officer Vaughan was just saying?
We have Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14, Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, I believe Isaiah also we could go into.
Salakia, what I'm holding Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 verse we're at verse 14 right now.
Verse 14. All right, you can read 14 again.
Khan. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 verse 14. For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world.
Right. So from the vainglory of men, right? What's vainglory, right? It's glory that doesn't matter. It's basically, I'll give you an example, right? Vainglory of men is saying you're the best basketball player in the whole world. You're the GOAT of basketball, right? Like the debate is who's the GOAT of basketball, right? Anybody watching basketball, they'll say LeBron James or they'll say Michael Jordan. Some people will say Kobe Bryant, right? It's vainglory. How has basketball stopped? Right? Okay. Who could tell me what city Michael Jordan played for when he played basketball, right? What that made him the GOAT of basketball? What people would like to say. Anybody?
Salakia, sir. Chicago. Salakia, Adawan, can you hear me?
So like, I just broke up for a second. I can't hear you now.
Come on, sir. I was saying Chicago.
Right. So okay. Chicago is known for Michael Jordan and playing basketball. What else is Chicago known for right now, like currently?
Salakia.
Salakia. Oh,
Come on, Trooper.
Salakia. I don't want. Chicago's known for the drugs and the violence that they do,
Right.
freaking throughout the year, even though guns are banned.
Right. So guns are banned in Chicago. In Chicago, they call it Chirac. Right. You had some brother, Benjamin in the world. He made a whole documentary called The War on Chirac and got rich off the murder of black people. Right. Michael Jordan is the GOAT of basketball. He played for the Chicago Bulls. How did his glory stop any of the violence happening in Chicago? It didn't. Right. So for the vain glory of men, they entered into the world. Right. Throughout the world. Right. That unholy place outside of the walls of the UPK, it's vainglory for men. Keep reading. Read it one more time.
Khan. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 14. For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world,
Read.
and therefore shall they come shortly to an end.
Right. Now listen, if you're not paying attention, right, and Akim, obviously the Akim in the school, they know they're in a safe place, right? Outside of the school, it is horrible. Brothers are dying, right? Brothers are going to waffle spots. And their ribs are posted in the location, right? And some other brother, he's already in the waffle shop waiting, watching it, and he shoots him dead and takes his money because these brothers are in the world, right? You got the Benjamite brother from Canada, right? All of damn near Slovakia, everyone Canadians are talking about boycotting a sister now and their music because another brother chose to sleep with some hoe in the world, and his glory is coming to an end, right? He's surely coming to an end. He's about to face 22 years. Who knows what the sentence is yet because he hasn't been sentenced yet, right? That's going to happen in July, right? But you living in the world, you're going to come to an end. You put up a Christmas tree in your house right now, right? You thought, it looks so good. I did it for the children. We put up all the lights and you fell asleep. And now your Christmas tree is on fire, right? It's on fire and burning down your house. And all the gifts that you spent all your hard rent money on, right? So you could be late for the rent July 1st, January 1st, they're burning up, right? Men are learning that Christianity, their money, and white Jesus isn't going to save them. Keep reading. Go to 15.
Khan. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 15. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning,
Keep reading.
when he hath made an image of his child, soon taken away,
Keep reading.
now honored him as a god.
Right. Now what does that sound like? That sounds like something Salakia. I'm trying not to give it away, right? But who could tell me what that sounds like?
Salakia, one,
Okay.
if I may. It sounds like the Christian worshiping Caesar Borgia.
Right, right. And this is what happens, right? You got family who they're gonna lose some loved one, right? Because of crime, because of this holiday season, right? I remember last year a sister, she lost her son, right? She lost her son. He was murdered because this is what happens during these seasons. These seasons aren't happy. They're full of horrible disaster and peril, right? And many brothers and sisters, they go through it during these seasons, right? And you have some who just like the oppressors did, right? They took one of their loved ones and turned him into a god, right? And because of that, now we're celebrating Christmas. Right. Da, 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 da.
So like a priest, if I may, also if I may add to it, also with this Christmas spirit, like just after Abman was saying, come from Nimrod. You understand? And this verse is exactly about that as well, because
Right.
Nimrod was a man, right, that had sex with his mother and that married his mother. And after his death, you understand, we see the cut of Nimrod, you understand, coming from the mother, you understand, coming from the
Right.
mother and everything, you understand. And most of these other religion that you will see with an idol or with a specific deity or whatnot, you will see exactly that there were men that died and somebody else in the family that just took that person and deified that person. And this is why today we venerate those people, you understand, being in different type of religion. The same way that, you understand, the Muslim venerate Muhammad, you understand, the same way the Hindu venerate, you understand, like Krishna and all of them, Buddha and all of them, you understand. So all these type of pagan religion come from a man, come from somebody, you understand, that was dead, that's other people, you understand, most likely in their family, venerates, just like Caesar Borgia as
Right.
well. So like a piece.
Right. And what's so heavy about what you're saying is because you got, okay, so it's the Christmas season. The whole world is going to, like, you can't even go to the liquor store tonight, right? For the liquor stores that are still supposed to be open, right? In my zone, we have liquor stores open till 10 o'clock some places. You can't even go because they're closed because the whole world wants to celebrate some former god, right? Salakia, not even to say a former god, some god that doesn't exist, right? They want to celebrate a god that doesn't exist. And what also you could tie into this verse is how Saint Nick was a man, right? A brother who he would go into the orphanages, right? And amongst the poor of his people and give away gifts to the good children, right? And damn near give nothing to the bad children because bad kids don't deserve anything, right? What they deserve is a hot meal, a shower, and go to your bed and learn how to get some straight A's.
Right.
That's what they deserve, right? Now he would give away gifts. When he passed away, they just kept running with this, with his what he would do until it turned into a folklore, until it turns into Santa Claus, some white man coming down your chimney that doesn't exist in your neighborhood to eat your milk and cookies. Salaki, he wants the milk and cookies too.
So Salakia.
Yeah, listen, the milk and cookies in my house is for me, right? It's not for no oppressor, especially the cookies. Like, good night. The oppressor wants the cookies. Salaki. Right. But that's what happens, and they turn him, and now Santa Claus is a god. Now because your rib is in the world, right? She wants to take your child and go sit him on some random oppressor's lap in a mall to take some horrible pictures. Right? The pictures are tacky pictures. Like, come on now. Black people, we got better flavor than that. We could take better pictures. You should see the pictures that we take at the Passover. And no child is sitting on an oppressor's lap.
Like a pedophile like.
Right. Right. Which reminds me, the Bruce MacArthur. I had to say that name correct, right? That's an oppressor, a Caucasian man who in the city of Toronto, I think he was in the LGBTQ village, in that community, doing devastation and chopping the bodies up and burying them in the pots of people's. Okay, so there's those little trees that you could plant in your backyard, right? He was burying them in the with those trees, and they had to scour the city to find these bodies. And he used to play Santa Claus. So many people took their children to sit on his lap. Barakiala, keep reading. You could keep reading.
Karawakan, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices.
Keep reading.
Karawakan, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 16. Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom growing
And what?
strong. An ungodly custom.
Christmas is.
An ungodly custom.
The Christmas tree is.
An ungodly custom.
Right.
Putting presents under a Christmas tree and bowing down to them is.
An ungodly custom.
Right, I couldn't say it any better than how Barakiala just read it out. Barak, where'd you read that from?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 16, in the Apocrypha, other one.
So what we're finding out is blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans always had wisdom. We've always been smart, right? We've always known what to do, except in these times right now, we're under the oppressor. We're under a child that has no wisdom. A child wants presents and gifts and sparkly, shiny things under a tree, right? That's what a child wants. That's what our oppressor is, right? We had a king. His name was Solomon, a black man, and he had wisdom. So much wisdom, he wrote songs and put it in books, right? These are damn near lectures. Right, and listen, this is like a university class, and you're getting it for free.
Right.
Right. You don't have to go and pay the oppressor his $50,000 tuition to get this knowledge. You just got to get in all black and shut up, and learn how to say Khan Adawan Khan. That's all you have to do to get this knowledge. Bruh, keep reading.
Karawakan was kept as a law.
Right. So ungodly customs turn into law. Who could break that down?
Salak, if I may.
Khan.
That's what they call a statutory holiday in modern
statutory
society.
Holiday. And listen, brothers and sisters, if you can, go work on that statutory holiday. Tomorrow, if you got a slavery, wake up and go do it. Right? Because you're going to get that time and a half.
Salak, Adawan.
Right.
I'm actually working tomorrow. I volunteered to work tomorrow. I'm gonna get paid that time and a half.
And you know what you could turn around and then do? Right? Because you're working on their holiday, you turn around and tell them, listen, I need my holiday off. And they're going to say, what's your holiday? And you're going to say, well, it's a Hanukkah. I need it off. Or it's the Passover. Or it's Purim. I need it off. I'm going to work your holidays and take off my holidays. Right?
Khan.
Slovakia. These holidays became law. Tomorrow, nothing's open. It's a law all throughout Edom's kingdom that nothing is open tomorrow. Right? Where are we? Keep reading.
Karabokan. Engraven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
Graven images. Now, who can name some? Like, what are some graven images that you're gonna see throughout this season?
Salaki, other one.
Okay.
They're gonna worship Caesar Borgia. That's right. One of them.
What else? What else? Like, it's the holidays. It's their holiday season. What else are the graven images? Right? Like, okay, I'll give you an example, right? You go to the Catholic Church and they got the white Jesus nativity scene. I don't even know how to say that word.
Salakia, the one. Do you mean the depiction of the white Jesus, white Joseph and Mary with the manger?
Right. Right, and everybody comes out and they go stand in front of it and they light candles and they start singing. I'm gonna just say gay Christian songs and these annoying Christmas carols that sound like cats fighting, right? And that's what's gonna happen, right? Read that part one more time. That last part that you read.
Karawakan. And graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
And people, listen, you got people out their houses right now. They Salakia. October 31st happened. They had death and skeletons and vampires and all types of evil in their front yard. November 1st happened. Right? November 1st came. They took down all the death and put up Santa Claus. Right? On November 1st, they started putting up Christmas lights. They started putting up Santa Claus and Rudolph and the reindeers and little elves and snowmen that they put up on their house every year because they're in a cult, right? Christianity is a cult, and that's what happens when you're in the world, right? You put on the culture of your oppressor, and you make what he tells you. You buy all the things that he tells you to worship, and you put them up in your house, and you put them. You put a mistletoe. Right? At no time do you even have plants in your house. Like a lot of brothers and sisters don't even got plants in their house. But then come Christmas, they got mistletoes everywhere. All right. Keep reading.
Karawakan. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 17. Whom men cannot honor in presence.
Read that one more time.
Karawakan. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 17. Whom men cannot honor in presence.
Read.
Because they dwelt far off.
Read.
They took the counterfeit of his visage from far.
All right, jump down to 18.
Karawakan. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 18. Also, the singular diligence of the artificer did help to set forward the ignorant to more superstition.
Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 19. For he peradventure, willing to please one in authority, forced all his skill to make the resemblance of the best fashion.
Right. So this is okay. I'm gonna get the proper breakdown for this, right? But this is talking about them making these gods, right? And how much work they put into to making them look like what they're supposed to. Right. Salakia, Officer Shaywan.
Come on, sir.
Get me the article on the mass shooting that happened in Vaughan, right? Get me the initial article for it, and then there's also another article where they tell you about some of the victims, who the victims were.
Come, sir.
Right? And Officer Adiyar, what were the other precepts that we had?
So, like, we also had Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 7.
Ecclesiasticus 32, verse 7. All right, let's get that. Baraka Allah, drop what you got. Get Ecclesiasticus 32, verse 7.
Kamakan. Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 7. Speak, young men, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twine asked.
Go up one.
Kamakan. Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 6. as a signet of an emerald set in a work of gold. So is the melody of music with pleasant wine.
Salakia, 1 second.
Bible question, priest, if you may, can also Barakela go to the same Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 verse 20 Bible question, because there's something important about this verse and the verse after, right?
Khan, Brock, you could jump to that verse.
Kawaka in Ecclesiastic Salakia. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 verse 20. And so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work.
The multitude. Now it's talking about the people in the world, right? The people in the world seeing Christmas as something good. Even though you might break it down and say, well, you know what, it is a pagan feast. Come from, you understand, those pagan religion, pagan nation and everything. They will tell you, well, you know what, it's about, I know it's not about Christ. I know it has nothing to do with Christ, but for the kids, let's do it for the kids. You understand? They're seeing exactly, you understand, they are deceived by these type of work. You understand? They see the grace of the work. You understand the beauty of it. Well, you understand the family together. You understand? I know it has nothing to do with Christ, but the family is together. Keep on going.
Kanawakan. Took him now for a god.
Took him now for what?
For a god.
Now that your Christmas tree is what?
A god.
Now your Christmas celebration is what?
A god.
You understand? Now your Santa Claus is what?
A god.
Now this is what you understand. Everything you do, you understand, is spiritual as well. You understand what I mean by that? Either you follow the laws of God or either you don't. You understand? And this is why it is necessary to really understand what you're doing. This is why it is really necessary to go in the roots of things and see where they come from. Like this, you know, do you serve God or do you serve something else? Most people don't understand that I serve something else just by giving gifts on Christmas Day. They will say, well, it's just giving gifts. You understand? There's nothing wrong with giving gifts. But when you give gifts on Christmas Day, you put yourself in the same ritual as the people that give gifts on Christmas days. You understand? Keep on going.
Karawakan. Which a little before was but honored as a man.
Which a little before was honored as a man. You understand? Go ahead.
Karawakan. Verse 21. And this was an occasion to deceive the world.
What?
An occasion to deceive the world.
Now, who deceived the world in this instance, in this case, in this verse that we're still talking about?
Salakia, other one, if I may.
Go ahead, please. Oh, you just dropped. Also, Barak dropped out. Anybody else? Who's deceiving the world in this verse? Or in this couple verse that we're reading right now about Christmas?
So it would be the people telling you to celebrate it.
Exactly. You understand? Which will be the Caucasian nation, the Edomites, right?
Right.
Now, where can I say deceiving the world in the Bible? You understand? I'll give you a hint. In the New Testament. Where can I see this? Anybody?
Slovakia.
Nobody knows.
Slovakia. I'm thinking Revelations.
Damn right. That's exactly the one. Let's get it.
Slovakia, 1 second.
Now, it is necessary to understand the Bible, and this is why the Bible is precept upon precept. You got to know where to go to understand what you're reading. You understand? Because if you don't know where to go, you will never understand what you're reading. You understand? If you don't know what it's talking about, the subject of the matter, you will never understand the Bible. And this is why it is necessary to come to class in the I.S.U.P.K. because on the I.S.U.P.K. on the coming to YAHANNA is the home of the truth, man. We will tell you the truth about this Bible. We will tell you, understand, show you verses you never seen in your life and explain you these verses like you never heard before. Let's get it. That's in Revelation.
1 moment.
No sweat.
Revelations 12 and Salaki, I just had it. 12 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Revelations 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out.
And the great dragon was cast out. You understand? Most Christians will say, well, this is the angel Satan. You understand? This is the angel Satan. This is Lucifer. This is the red beast. You understand? Most Christians will understand that, right? Keep on going.
Come. That old serpent called the devil and Satan.
Wait. Just let's go slow, because Christian out there, you understand?
Right.
You got to take it slow with them. They got to give them baby food, right?
Right.
So that old serpent, you understand, which is talking about the same serpent in the garden, right? That old serpent, you understand? And it's not talking about the literal snake. It is talking about somebody that is deceiving somebody else. The deceiver. You understand? Keep on going.
Called
Mm-hmm.
Called the devil and Satan.
Called what?
The devil and
Called
Satan.
the devil and Satan. You understand? The devil. This is why we say the oppressor is the devil the Bible speak of. You understand? The Edomites, the European, the white man is the devil the Bible speak of. You understand? And you will understand by the other verse that we were reading before. But you understand? Let's keep on going, officers of body.
Which deceiveth the whole world.
You understand? Wait a minute. You understand? The devil and Satan. Satan also means adversary. You understand? Like when you read the Bible, most people won't know that Satan, there's two aspects of Satan in the Bible. There's the angel Satan that works for the Most High, and also there's Satan as a figurative of somebody on earth, a race of people on earth. And this verse in Revelation is not talking about the angel Satan. It's talking about that figurative, you understand? That nation of people on earth that did what?
Deceiveth the whole world.
Now we got it again. The same words again, the same phrase that deceiveth the whole world, the entire world. By doing what? By telling us to celebrate Christmas, celebrate Halloween, that Jesus is white, that everybody could be saved. You understand? That's how they deceive the whole world. That's in Revelation. Now, Officer Barakia, let's get back to, you understand where we're at, verse 21. Wisdom
of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 21.
Go ahead.
And this was an occasion to deceive the world.
To do what?
To deceive the world.
Are you seeing the correlation, Hakim?
Karawakan.
This verse is important. Why? Because when you bring that other verse in Revelation, you understand? You could show exactly the deceiving the whole world. Satan, the angel, didn't come down and deceive the world. Did Satan talk to you in your dream and say, celebrate Christmas? Did Satan come in your dream to tell you that Caesar Borgia is Christ? You understand? Satan didn't do that, but a race of people did. That same race of people that is talked to in Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha. You understand? Keep on going.
Karawakan. For man serving either calamity or tyranny did ascribe unto stones and stocks.
You understand? All right, you could drop that. All right. But that point on that verse, you understand, is the fact that deceiving the whole world is not this angel Satan that is deceiving the whole world, but it's a race of people. The same race of people that you read about, you understand, which will be in this case Caesar Borgia and his father Pope Alexander, you understand, is the same race of people that deceive the whole world in Revelation, which is the Caucasian race, which is the Edomite, which is the Satan, which is the devil the Bible speak of. So when the I.S.U.P.K say the white man is the devil the Bible speak of, it is the truth. They are the deceiver. Understand? From over here in Apocrypha to Revelation, you could see exactly the same thing. So like a priest.
God, no sweat. All right, so it is again, we're proving to you that Christmas is just not of this whole holiday season is not of the Most High. It's not for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? It's something that our oppressors they've been doing this celebration for centuries, right? And usually in this celebration, it comes with death and murder and just pain just a lot of evil things, right? So recently in Toronto, again, they'll lie to you and tell you that this is the most wonderful time. They got a whole song, right? It's the most wonderful time of the year, right? La, right? Listen, Esau's going through it right now. It's the most wonderful time of the year in the city of Vaughan, and listen, most high in Christ, right? This is what we pray about, Akia. This is we pray for the Most High to send more plagues, more destruction to this kingdom at the hands of their own people, right? We pray that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we don't even have to lift up a hand to destroy this place. Just watch this place destroy itself, right? So Officer Shariwan, he has a story for you that we're going to get into real quick about a mass shooting that happened during the holiday season, right, in Canada. So, Officer Shariwan, when you got the story?
Come on, Casa. This is a story from CP24. Vaughan mass shooting. 3 victims were members of condo board. It says 3 of the 5 people fatally gunned down in a mass shooting at a Vaughan condo building Sunday night were members of the condo board. York Regional Police Chief Jim McSewan says 3 victims were members of the condominium board, but the motive for the shooting remains part of this very complicated and very fluid investigation, which is still ongoing at this time. He said 3 of the victims who died were men and 2 were women. A 66-year-old woman was also shot but survived.
Right. That's the 6th victim. So there's been 6 victims, right? The last victim that Officer Shariwan just described, that victim survived, but they're in horrible condition, and it could go any way until they're fully recovered, right? So there might be 6 murdered. Who knows, right? But what's happening is there's a Edomite who went crazy. He went batshit, Salakia, right? And he murdered people in his building in Canada. Canada's supposed to be a safe place, right? That's what they want you to believe. But what you're finding out is anywhere where they celebrate and worship the gods that are dumb, the dumb idols, right? You're going to see death. Officer Shariwan, you could keep reading?
Sir. Multiple residents have told CP24 that the suspected gunman was involved in some sort of dispute with the condo board at the building.
Right, that's the devil right there, right? They were trying to evict this man. They've been trying to evict him, and it's not working. And he said, you know what? I'm going to delete you guys for trying to evict me. Right? It's the holiday season, and they want this man out in the streets. And this man said, it's the holiday season, and I'm coming to take your life. Right? This is something that the oppressors are very familiar with. Right? Esau was blessed with the sword. Right? He knows how to hunt. He knows how to kill. Right? Salakia. Barakia Allah. Can you get me, ye are of your father the devil? Salakia. Right? Get me, ye are of your father the devil. Officer Shariwan, keep reading. Does it anywhere in that article is it describing the shooter, the murderous Edomite? And this is supposed to be the holiday season, everybody. This is supposed to be the time when families come together. Now these Edomite families, they're coming together to mourn. Right? They're coming together to remember a loved one who was gunned down. Right? Listen, so many blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, this is how they're waking up this holiday because their family members have been gunned down. It's something that we go through regularly on a holiday that we become numb to it, right? But for Edom, they're not used to having a shooting so close to the holiday, a mass shooting. And this is something you're beginning to see a lot more and more. Mass shootings are happening in Canada, and it's going to keep happening. And it's coming to a city near you, right? Listen, again, your Christianity, white Jesus, none of your money is going to save you. The people in Vaughan, they live very comfortable. The rent is so expensive up there, and they all drive fancy cars, and none of that is going to save them, right? Because they have to pay for the crimes of what they did to the children of Israel, to the North American Indian that they put into they put them into residential schools and started a Holocaust on the reserves, and as soon as they got off those ships. Officer Shaywan?
Salakia, other one. You want information on the shooter?
Yeah, Salakia, this is like the original article, like where you can get the first article or one of the main articles for this story where it's talking about what happened.
Sir, I have part of the article here that speaks on what happened.
Come.
So it says, McSween said officers were called to the building at 9325 James Street, just north of Rutherford Road, for an active shooter incident at 7:20 p.m.
Oh, wait. Now, listen. I told you, my mind's like Google Maps. So, Baraka Allah, what is familiar about that address?
So, Salakia, could you repeat?
You're not gonna get it right, but this is the address of the area we went to that party. Remember, we had that Toronto Brotherhood weekend, Salakia, when Montreal came to Toronto, and we had a good night. We started in the bar and ended in a club somewhere after class. Salakia. Good night. Right? This is that same area. Officer Shaywan, you can keep reading.
And arrived at the building within 3 minutes and 20 seconds to discover a horrendous scene. Officers responding to the mass shooting found multiple people dead on several floors of the building before the gunman was shot dead by an officer in a hallway.
Wait, so he was in that building going level. He said there's levels to this shit. Salakia. He said there is levels, right? He said he complete one level, and he said a higher level, and he said, listen, let the carnage begin.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening on these holiday seasons. That has nothing to do with our power. Keep reading.
Ontario Special Investigations Unit said in a separate update Monday, the gunman was pronounced dead at around 8 p.m., about 40 minutes after police were called.
Listen, Akim, what he's telling you is he shot it out with the police, right? He knew he wasn't going to survive, but he said, I did what I had to do. Now I'm done, but I'm going to try and take a couple of you police with me, right? And they sent him to the upper room. Salakia. Officer Baraka Allah, can you read that precept for me?
Khan, this is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil.
Right. This is our King Yahushua. He's speaking to the Sadducees and Pharisees, right? And he's letting them know, ye are of your father, the devil. Meaning that spirit that you have right now is of the devil. If you are celebrating Christmas, right, it's a spirit of the devil. It's not the Most High spirit. The Most High, we're in. Listen, I was just burning some candles because we're in the Feast of Hanukkah. It's coming to a close. We're going to be bringing it close to it tomorrow.
Right.
Now, that's the spirit you're supposed to be in right now. I got to go get some more candles. But that's the spirit you're supposed to be in right now, right? The Christmas ugly sweater, like, good night. If you ever try to tell me to wear an ugly sweater, I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to throw it up into the air. That's the spirit we're supposed to be in. Forget that ugly sweater, right? We're supposed to be in the spirit of the Most High, keep the laws, celebrate our days. These Officer Shariwan, you can get rid of this article. These oppressors are in the spirit of death and murder and everything that the Most High hates. Baraki Allah, keep reading.
Karawakan. And the lust of your father you will do.
Listen, you got sisters outside right now are doing Lord knows what for some bag, right? People are saying I gotta make sure I got the presents for the kids, so they're out selling fentanyl. They're selling fentanyl and heroin and all types of drugs to murder their people. Lawyer,
Salaga priest, if I just may add, right?
go on.
Like, you understand, and this is what we call the oppressor, the white man, the devil, the Bible speak of. You understand,
Right.
which is, you understand, the devil meant deceiver. You understand? I was talking to Arabs at my slavery, and I was like, "Do you celebrate Christmas?" They're like, "No, but I buy gift for my kids." I'm like, "God damn, wait a minute. So you telling me you celebrate Christmas then?" I don't go to church. We don't go to church, but we buy gifts for the kids. I'm like, that's what celebrating Christmas is. You understand? And this is what the verse, you understand, when y'all seeing y'all, the devil deceiving the whole world. Now you have Arabs celebrating Christmas. You have Chinese celebrating Christmas.
Right.
You have, you understand? You have it's Indians celebrating Christmas. Matter of fact, in Saudi Arabia last year, they had a big Christmas tree in Saudi Arabia. They might have it today. You understand? Today or tomorrow. You understand? All the world is celebrating Christmas. Why? Because the devil deceived the entire world. Satan done deceive the entire world into for you to think, you understand, that this is about Christ, that this is, you understand, something godly to do. Meanwhile, it is pagan worship, man. You understand? Meanwhile, it's Christianity. You understand? Meanwhile, Christmas bring adultery, bring, you understand, herpes, STDs, death. You understand? And all type of, you understand, every, you understand? So this is what we call the oppressor, the devil the Bible speak of. And just like you see in the Bible, they are the devil the Bible speak of. They are the one deceiving the entire world. You understand? It's time for you to get out of the Christian church, because your Christian church is made by those same people that are deceiving the world. So what do you think they're doing to the Christian church? Deceiving you. You understand? It's time for you to get out of the church, man. Come in the UPK, man. Look up for a UPK school near you. You understand? Come in class. Come get in all black. Come learn the truth of the Bible. Then change your life, man. Because the time is short. We don't have a long time left. You understand? So like it.
Right. So a quick correction. We're not closing out Hanukkah, right? It's not a high holy day that has a closing. It's a Memorial Day. So we will be observing. Okay. So there's not going to be like an official closeout. Like, so there's not going to be a class tomorrow. But again, it does fall on a day when everything is closed. So take that time to enjoy it with your family. Go gather around your family in the truth and go celebrate Hanukkah. Right. So once again, Barak, did you finish that verse?
A lot of one. There's still a bit more.
Khan, you can finish it.
Khan. He was a murderer from the beginning.
A what?
A murderer from the beginning.
Salakia. Now you're understanding what's happening, right? A man shot up his building and killed his neighbors because he was a murderer from the beginning, right? That's what you get with these holidays, right? Salakia. I can't tell you if I've ever heard of and a brother even having an argument or scrapping it out with another brother in the truth with them. I've never seen it at our UPK events. I've never heard about it, right? But at tomorrow's family dinner, Salakia, some black folks we even do the dinner tonight. The cousins are scrapping over whose rod they were both on, right? Brothers are about to scrap over who stole whose money or who slept with whose woman. We're not doing that, right? So again, our oppressor, he's a murderer from the beginning. That's what he does. We're coming to an end right? Again, pay your tithes, like, subscribe to this channel, share these videos. Also, Commanding General Yohanna and his heavy hitting captains are live right now on Black Watch News. Go check it out. So water for Trooper Takan for joining us. Give that trooper a hand. Yeah, we got Montreal in the building, Officer Sharyuan in the building. Again, this is another episode or another class that happens every Saturday night. Every Saturday night, 8 to 10 p.m. on I.S.U.P.K. We're also live right now on TikTok. Slovakia. Go on TikTok, share this video, ISUPK_Canada. Go on TikTok, share the video, and like it, and make sure everyone sees these classes. Once again, I'm Priest and Officer 1000 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General Yohanna. I'm going to pass the class over to Officer 500 Sharyuan.
Okay, let's clap it up for Officer Zabadia. These are the I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We have the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can read about it in Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests is not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, please give. Upcoming holy convocations. We're just finishing with the Feast of Hanukkah. And the upcoming holy convocation will be the Feast of Purim, which will be on Thursday, the 22nd of February, and Friday, the 23rd of February, 2024. You can read about it in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 to verse 31. To any brother who wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters and one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, I.M.A.J.M, which means stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, I.M.A.J.M Shabbat. I.M.A.J.M, Barak. Yad Yad Matah, which means hands down. Sar, turn and face the sisters. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I.M.A.J.M Shabbat. I.M.A.J.M, Barak. Yahweh Yad Matah, which means hands down. Class dismissed.
We're still live.